This will be your coffin in the sky, Shigaraki. Oh, are you sure? How about we see about that, heroes? Hello, it is me, Anime We Anime, and I'm here to bring you the final part of Os nope, what if Deku had an elemental quirk? Whew. 11 weeks ago we started this. 11 weeks ago to this day we started this what if. And these three, well, these what ifs, this one and my Asta what if have gained me new fans. So, hi, hello. Um, I hope you enjoy it here. I post weekly, every week, no breaks. Um, well, yeah, I do breaks for Christmas. That's it. I legit, that is my only break, is Christmas. Okay, legit my only break. Besides, like the entire week of recording is that's my only break. But any other day, I, well, doing my own stuff. Yeah, I'm me. I'm a person. I'm not. I I legit only have 100 some subscribers, so I'm I'm not a celebrity. Plus, nobody knows my face. Anyways, um, yeah, I'm about to say the gross YouTube stuff. So yeah, please like it. Truly helps. Subscribing also helps me and well, you all too. Sort of. I don't get how. And commenting, I just comment something, dude. Please, just say yeet or yeah or your favorite wrestler if you watch it. If you don't watch it, then don't bother about it. But if you have a favorite professional wrestler, we can talk professional wrestling, dude. I love wrestling. I recently saw something for the wrestling fans. There's a YouTuber named BDE. Brandon does everything. He is going to be on TNA this Sunday for I think it's a Sunday. He's going to be in the Collier Shot Battle Royal, right? And I really wish I had this. Like, I could watch it live, but I don't. I'm not that privileged in this world, in this economy. I'm not that rich. I can't just plan out and buy the pay per view. I wish I could. I'd love to. I want to watch this so bad because given I haven't really watched his newer YouTube stuff, but I've watched them for so I have watched him for such a long time that I'm very proud of him for being here. Now all we need, which there's another YouTube wrestling, well, like wrestling YouTuber name of Dank Ops, Chris Danger. It's not a game anymore. 99 overall. Now I just really need to see him in a TNA ring or a WWE ring, NXT ring, AW ring. Even though I have seen him throughout multiple things, I need to see him because I've watched him way longer than a lot of other YouTubers, well, wrestling YouTubers, and a lot of YouTubers in general. I followed his YouTube career for about 7 years, not 8 years. Um, right, and I really want to see him prosper. Honestly, I want to see him go big or go home. Anyways, back to my hero, the what if. Yeah, back to a what if. Sorry, I got chewing gum. So if you hear me chewing, I'm very sorry. But yeah, let's get into it. Last story left off was we saw my Deku and Midoriya and multiple other heroes, the same as in canon. There, Midoriya does actually make it to uh like Toga doesn't interfere and bring him all the way to that island. Okay, like the island they're fighting on, right? Like they're not bothering him. They don't. Well, Toga doesn't like Midoriya, so there's nothing to worry about. Midoriya isn't getting pulled away from this fight. So he is already, he gets there, right? And same here as Canon, Best Genus, Edge Shot, Mirko, the big three, Aizawa, Monoma, and the other hero, I forget his name. They are out there on the sidelines looking into the coffin in the sky. It's the same premise as in canon, okay? Same premise. And so, let it begin. Midoriya would go in instantly, faster than, almost everyone besides Mirko. They all just had the plan of let Midoriya attack first. He's been holding up energy into his blade. Like his blade would be glowing red and like yellow from the heat within it. And as the heat would burst out of the blade, it would be blue, as Midoriya would say, Flare Slicer, Blue Star, as he would slice and slice, and then thrust the blade as the two slices would be pushed into a hotter degree in flame. Hotter than blue. Well, not hotter than blue. It'd be a high point of blue. This would connect with Shigaraki. But he would block it. He would try to push it away, right? But yet that wouldn't work. He would still get hit and burnt from this attack, as everyone else would join into the fight. But eventually, as you know, his body starts adapting and growing into this new form. The hand monstrosity that we know him as. He would transform into this. Well, not transform, but grow into this. And Midoriya would grow as well, but not in. In power, raw strength, yes, not in human form, but he would start to heat the place up. The people from outside and below could feel the heat of Midoriya. Midoriya would be condensing flame again into his blade and wind. Right? He'd be condensing it throughout his arm and blade. So he would bring the flame, the heat that he would be condensing from his arm all the way through his blade as it would ignite into a purple flame. He would be being burnt, like his face would start being burnt from this, his arm. But this is the risk he's willing to take for this fight. He would raise it into the sky, as he would say, Flare call, Violet, violet dragon's breath as he would jump up and flame from the sky. Well, not really from the sky, but you get my point. From the well, not from the sky, but the clouds would part as a fiery, well, a clear heat would pillar down. And then once it would get closer to the pillar, not the pillar, but the coffin in the sky, the flames would go purple or a violet color. As it would go through the electromagnetic field. It would go through, connecting with the blade as Midoriya would slash multiple times in a row with his Nodachi. Those slashes would resemble the face of a dragon by this point, as it would fall through the sky. It would connect with a bunch of um, arms uh, of Shigaraki, but it would burn them away. It would char them from where they couldn't grow from that point anymore. Char them so much and burn. Well, he would get rid of a huge chunk of them. Midoriya would say, "I can't do that all the time," as he would begin to just Geppo in place, not in place, but he would move around, start moving around again. He would start thinking. He can't get close to him, to Shigaraki, at least at the moment. So either he will have to make a hole some way with with his abilities, or he was gonna force Shigaraki out of this hand mess more than he thought we could cool this place down. So, as everybody else would be distracting him, distracting Shigaraki is what I mean, Midoriya would fall through the sky. He would start Geppoing a little, well, not Geppoing, I'm calling it Geppo because One Piece. Awesome. He would be going a little bit um, Shigaraki, where he thinks he is, right? As he would say, "Cold order, dragon's cold nest." As he would put his hand on a mass of whatever, it would cut into his hand, but it was fine. He will just either uh, cat, I forget the word, but burn the wound or freeze it. Cold dragon nest, dragon's cold nest, um, a mass of ice. Every single limb of Shigaraki's would freeze. Midoriya would get frozen over, like, entirely. Not entirely, but on his, like, shins and, like, calves and legs, like his thighs and hamstrings and, well, his, like, not his joints, but the calves and his thighs and his arms and, well, biceps and forearms, uh, quite a bit on the torso area as well. But even though you could hear some ice cracking, Shigaraki would be yelling as well. What? What just happened? Or what just happened? Uh, he would start yelling about what just happened. How did you do that? How did you? Blah 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 blah. He would be complaining. Excuses.com. Okay, he would be very much complaining about the current circumstance. Right. as Midoriya would say, as he would be running around again, everyone else would be kind of just sitting still in the air somewhere, either being held up by another person or the Best Genus's wires or the platforms above. As Midoriya would run around, searching for where Shigaraki's voice is coming from, he would eventually find it. He would jump in the air as he would say, "Spatial flash, blackout." An orb of black would appear above Midoriya's hand as it would fly out at Shigaraki. Shigaraki could see it, but his feet are frozen, and even though he is strong, he would be able to break it, but yet he can't move because of his limb that is fully frozen. The snake hand monster can't move. It also can't grow because of the burnt from the incinerated dragon, well, violet dragon's breath attack. He can't move it or grow it to escape. So this would hit him on the side, like where the arm is. It would go straight through. Shigaraki would scream in pain, trying to rip away from it, to cover it up, to grow over it, to do something, but yet he can't. Until he got angry enough and broke throughout the ice. Now, given some of the, some parts of the limbs are still frozen, like to the ground. Not to the ground, but frozen. So it's kind of weighing it down. It's not as fast. It's quite slow. Way slower than Asm Cannon, right? Midoriya would be in the air again, dodging around because he's becoming number one target. Shigaraki saying, "Screw everybody else. I can deal with them. This guy is going to be a problem." And well, especially with the whole entire whatever spatial whatever is, Shigaraki doesn't know. He he doesn't know about the spatial like stuff. So Midori would be using a lot of the flash moves, like flare flash, wave flash, cold flash, all of that. Using a lot of those so that Shigaraki can't, well, he can still move around. He also doesn't have to get close, though. Flare Slicer and other slicers, besides like Spatial Slicer, would be getting used as well. Thunder Circuit, Hydra Tornado, Dust Devil, Frozen Fallen Leaves, Electric Eel, Charred Fallen Leaves. Blue Star would not be used. Okay. But like well, not Silver Sword, no. Meteor Slash would be used. But like the spatial stuff and a lot of the silver moves, like Silver Slicer, wouldn't be getting used. The hammer, like the up close moves, would not be able to be used. But flashes and long range attacks would be getting used. So as of Flare Flash, Cold Flash, Ava Blast, like Avalanche, but Ava Blast, it's just like a massive chunk of ice, just boom, being thrown. Okay, Undershot, uh, this would probably be the most annoying. Midoriya is using like pieces of like the rubble around, and he's sending it underground and sending it back through the ground, even though it's sectioned pieces. He's still able to do this because the sections would just open up and reopen up, barely any, and he would just, well, undershot. It would go through. or it would be made from right below his target, and it would just shoot up, hitting him undershot. Pretty cool name. Uh, Silver Wolf, it would be like a silver bullet, like the whole entire werewolf silver bullet. That's where I got the idea from. Silver Wolf, it would just be a steel, like a firearm round. Okay, like a you get my point though. You get it. Hold down, it would be getting used, sort of using rubble again to like attach around Shigaraki's like ankles or like neck or wrist, anything like that would be getting used. Everything else, it's pretty, or I've used it, so yeah. The calls, I mean, given they would be able to get used, but not really, because it's an enclosed area, so he can't really use all of them or any of them, like Meteor Fall or Silver Impact. I mean, he can use Silver Impact. He is legit just creating a massive hammer and just doosh, just having it crush his opponent. So he's able to use that. But like Kraken's Bash or Falling Iceberg, uh, Dragon's Descent, on Toncho's Hold Down, Black Void, um, yeah. And then for orders, I mean, he was able to use most of them, or all of them, really. He just can't use, like, the Terra order. Um, but everything else, he's able to use with ease. Just, there are some hard ones to use, right? Because he can't really get close in. Right. Well, until Midoriya, well, not Midoriya, but until Shigaraki would go into his defense form, he would switch forms, kind of like Deoxys. He would switch into that bulkier form, right? Everyone would start attacking. Everyone would be able to get in close. Midoriya as well. Well, clearly Midoriya. He'd be starting to use hammers. Let's see. There's a point to me not going way into depth. I'm well, not pre-recording this. I'm recording this on Friday. I still need to pre-record my other my every other Saturday series final because tomorrow I got things to do. Okay. Anyways, I got things to do tomorrow, so I got to pre-record it. Using the hammers, Whale Crash being the wave hammer, Cold Hammer Frozen Steel, a, a clear premise, Gale Hammer Pushback. You've all seen Lichten Hammer Shocking News and Silver Tonfa and Quaking Hit. So you've seen them all, besides like Dragon's Claw. No, you have seen it. I think you've only not seen Wave Hammer and Cold Hammer. I think you've seen all of them. Besides that, Pushback is pretty. They're all pretty self-explanatory, right? His arm would be covered with the said element, or like hand, or you get my point. And then, boosh, a special thing happens. Well, Crash is just a heavy hit, dude. Like water will just plain out just soak them. Okay, like a wet sheet t-shirt contest or whatever. I don't get it. I don't get the internet. But yeah, you get my point. Midoriya would start to use the orders that don't really need much things from his body. Like Gale Order, he would use Gale Order multiple times. Boris's arrows, arrows would multiple arrows of wind would just rain down onto Shigaraki. Midoriya does get damage within this fight. It's just, I mean, it's noticeable. Like, he's beat up. Shigaraki, well, Bakugo is still as beat up as in canon. Mirako is beat up. Everyone's beat up, okay? But yet, in the end, well, also, this coffin in the sky does go down. It shuts off because of, well, the twice clones and Kurogiri. But Gentle Criminal is saving it from going into the ocean. Shigaraki does escape. Midoriya would go and follow. Mirio would go as well. Everyone else would be still up there. Mirio is following Midoriya. Midoriya would be going through the air, going above Shigaraki, as Shigaraki would be heading towards All For One's direction. But yet, as you know, Iron Might, All Might would be there to hold off All For One. See, everything else has happened in, well, happen as in canon, right? But eventually, Midoriya would actually go faster than Shigaraki. He would end up in front of him. He'd be standing there in front of Shigaraki as Shigaraki would be running throughout a messed up city. Midoriya would be standing there as he would say, "You're not going any farther, Shigaraki." "Oh, are we sure about that, Midoriya?" "I don't care if the Master wanted you alive to use your quirk. It's not gonna happen. You wanna know why? Because I'm gonna take you out here and now. You're done." That's what everyone has said since the beginning. You know that? But yet, guess what? I have always come on top. You're not. This, me and you aren't gonna be any different. I'm gonna take you out here and now. Hopefully. Terror Order, Hades Awakening. He would stomp the ground in earthquake in this a range. The ground would start to shake. It would start to break up like an earthquake. The fissures would start to mess up. There would be spikes coming out the ground here and there, surrounding Shigaraki, who would just break them and not worry about it. But yet, this would give the ground just a harder way to step on. The minuscule spikes would be doing a number on Shigaraki's feet as he would just walk through them. Midoriya would then go as quick as he could to be behind Shigaraki, as he would say, "Licked in order, Terror's jaw." A arcing burst of electricity, of lightning, would come from Midoriya's fist. This would electrocute Shigaraki. And from the way Midoriya hit him, he would be sent into the ground, like cratering into the ground, as Midoriya would go in a way, flipping throughout the air and landing in front of Shigaraki where he was previously. Midoriya would then use Cold Order once again, freezing the ground in front of him, freezing the spikes on the ground, as Shigaraki would just run forward. This is what he was hoping for. Midoriya would say, "Flare order, Phoenix flare." As he would raise his hand in the sky, a massive fire would come together, forming a phoenix as it would fly. But then he would then immediately use wave order, Poseidon's swirling tsunami. A massive a mass of water, a wave mass gathers a wave mass of water, like a mass of water, and by pointing her, he would point his hands forward at Shigaraki. Then that massive uh, burst of water would shoot into the ground and then rip it shreds, going into a massive tsunami, crashing upon Shigaraki. This would knock Shigaraki down, and plus, from the explosion of the Phoenix Flare, it would be a steam hotspot. There would be steam everywhere. It would burn Shigaraki. But Midoriya is not done. He would say, "Lichten call, dragon's descent." Lightning would shoot down from the sky in the shape of a dragon's head, chomping down onto Shigaraki, shocking him full of electricity. And then Kraken's Bash, Wave Call Kraken's Bash. Um, Kraken appendages, tentacles, would slam down upon Shigaraki multiple times. It wouldn't stop either. Poncho's hold down. This would even push down Shigaraki even farther, keeping him down, pinned down to the ground, as Midori would just unload onto attacks. Fiery Pillar, Falling Iceberg, Zeus's Breath, Meteor Fall, Silver Impact would just be continuously hitting Shigaraki, just beating him down over and over again, and he would just be there taking it because he can't move. He just can't. He can't move from this point. Then Midoriya would say, "How's that, Shigaraki?" But then something would fly past him. As he would turn, it would be a body. Not dead, because it would be standing back up, as it would say, "Young Midoriya." As he would run back past him, "You need to run. You need to run, young Midoriya." "Yeah, not happening. And plus, Midoriya's here." Power! As Mirio would hit Shigaraki too. But All for One, Teen All for One would be there. He would say, "I would appreciate if you let my new body go." As Rivet Stab would fly through the air, Midori would dodge. Mirio would move out of the way. As Shigaraki would stand up, looking at Midoriya. Midori would say, "Oh, come on, man. Couldn't just stay down. Woohoo." Screw it. Spatial call. Black void. A mass of black would fall from the sky, and then it would fall. Well, it would split, and then split again, and again, and again, and then again. Then it would rain down, but then it would form back together into a laser, or like the mess it was. It was weird how it was acting. It would fall, though, on top of Shigaraki, who would be forcefully moved by Young All for One with a telekinetic type of pull. Midoriya would hold his arm weirdly. The ice would already been gone by this point. He would have melted it. He would have warmed back up. He would have held his arm. Why? No one really knows. Maybe it hurt. Mm. But currently, for the heroes, it would be a 3v1. 3v2. All Might's armor is broken by this point. Mirio and Izuku is really tired and hungry. Midoriya would say, "Let's end this once and for all. Gravity Order bears presence. A mass, a massive amount of gravity would push down on All for One and Shigaraki, pushing him down. Well, All for One into the ground, them both cratering into the ground. He would keep this up, as he would then say, "Spatial Order, Archangels, Black Plague." A large mass of spatial stuff would appear in front of Midoriya a little bit above him, as it would rain down upon Shigaraki and All for One. Even though they would be in these weird forms, defensive, and a younger All for One, they could not out heal this attack. They didn't know what to do. The places they would be hit would just disappear. Just disappear from their body. If they got hit in the finger, their finger would be gone. A chunk of their forearm from a where a blast would hit would be gone. Or a chunk of their leg would be gone. Until there would be nothing left of these monsters. And now I know what you're thinking. You would think people would think Midoriya's a monster from doing this, and they do. But yet he's a hero. He's doing his job, protecting them. And they would see this live because of the news people following them. They would see Midoriya take down Shigaraki and All for One at a single time. No one knows how he does it. But yeah, after he did that, he would collapse. Unconscious, bloody and broken. And once he would awaken, he would get news that would break him even more. His best friend, the man who he wanted to help get to number one, Bakugo Katsuki, would be seemingly dead. But in reality, he would be still alive because of Edge Shot. Now, given he is a tiny little noodle man, Edge Shot is still alive too. He's just a little noodle man. I don't know. But that's what I'm going to end it. I know, I got you. I got you. I tricked you, didn't I? I'm hilarious. No, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you. I hope to see you all in the next What If, starting next Wednesday with What If Deku. And well, next week period is my new What Ifs. So I can't wait for you to see those. If you do decide to watch them, I'm not going to force you to, but you should probably try them out for at least. I think you should at least try them. Right. After this is uploaded, I'll be making a playlist full of the the videos. So if you ever want to come back and watch them, you can. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. And roll the dice. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.